Hi folks, welcome to the Online World Championship 2025. As you know, if you've seen it when it was happening, we have the semi-finals and the final of this tournament streamed live, but we are a little thin with content with just 2 rounds, so I thought I would show you a few of my games that happened earlier in the event. So we start with the final round of Swiss. So this is a game that I played against Marcel Arias, and it is one of the decisive games of this round because we are both on 3-2, so fighting to make the extended cut by winning this one. And it's Bara Summer for me and Bara Valyrian still for Marcel, so that could be quite a game. Lots of limiteds in that opening hand, so I had to mulligan, and honestly, this is location heavy. Don't really want to set up Delena, so I think I have to go with everything else and hope there's no Mad King's Command or something like that. Yeah, I don't want to waste her search usually. Oof, good sign, Andrew Estermonton setup. And I don't draw into any characters here, so that's gonna be quite a rough start. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the general game plan is for Marcel here, so Bara Valyrian Steel, I mean, it's essentially, I think, a control deck that it draws really well and it's tough to get rid of. It will not ever run out of resources, or it shouldn't. You could play this deck a bit more constructively. The Bara attachments, I mean, are interesting. They're quite playable without going into. I mean, if you play Targaryen Valyrian Steel and then half of the attachments say something like Daenerys Targaryen only or whatever they say, you're a bit more limited. But Bara has a nice set of attachments that can just be basically played on most characters, but still few, right? A Lightbringer or something like that. You would need characters that eventually want to do challenges. So I don't know. You can play it with less controlly stuff like Core Robert or the Fast Robert or stuff like that. I gotta admit I don't know exactly what Marcel's deck has, but he played this the previous edition of Online Worlds as well, if I remember correctly. And I think one thing I do remember is that deck had Morgulis, and I was thinking, okay, you can't really walk into that much, but since my deck has Close Call, not too bad. Yeah, once you get Robert, this one is pretty nice because it's free. The Edric also very valuable if you have the dominance battle, and I do have Chamber here. I just don't know if Marcel is also gonna play Throne and Chamber. And duping the red keep just in case. Lay Waste is a staple in some of these Valyrian Steel decks because you can play it on your own cards sometimes. But I think getting rid of a red keep would also not be too bad. Now that I see this, it's a bit of a worry that I didn't take Edric. So looks like it is a deck that wants to win dominance, and if you can deny the encampments, that can be pretty decent. But oof, okay. Marcel gets the control Robert and the bastards to go with him. And Chamber. Yeah, I might regret the decision. Andrew currently would have to kill himself, right? Is the only lore to gain power, I mean. So not looking good for dominance. I don't want to get power on my faction card necessarily. I will be happy to draw though, and that's a great card. Too bad I lose my one copy of Mundor, who goes pretty well with him, but okay. And yeah, red keep not denied. Happy enough with that. And now what? What does Robert do? Ooh, okay. Keeps my red keep net in exchange for that encampment. I guess in the short term it's not super crucial to get any high econ. I have Gates of the Moon that benefits Marcel as well. He has the board, so... And breaking ties. Okay, yeah, we've seen that quite a bit in Baratheon recently. I mean, it's really nice with Bastard of Robert. Such a cheap character to just sack for that. I can shuffle it into the deck as well, so if there's a Delena, I can just fetch it right back. Get my own Robert. Which might be the thing to play actually, because I have the chart to go with him. Just questionable whether the gold works out. 10 gold, not too bad. Plus a smuggler if I need it. But probably, as I said, I do think there is Morgulis in this one. So just playing Robert, Salderson and Corraine all on the board at once, probably not the best idea. So one or the other, I think. And in this particular match, traitors could be crucial actually. Power challenge is big, and the dominance battle looks like it could be big here. Yeah, two Roberts in play at the same time, they kind of have a weird interaction. I mean, one triggers and then the other one... the other one might want to do the same thing, and they can keep each other knelt as well in theory. Okay, my Robert's gonna kneel if any challenge is done. Yeah. my only intrigue icon as well. One good thing is that doesn't look like breaking ties is necessarily gonna hurt me that much here, because you don't want to return Delena to hand so that she comes back with another search. Salador, okay, you can, but Snelt now. And no locations really. Gas chamber. That's easy enough to replay. I mean, he's not playing choke. And I am winning this one unless an attachment comes in. Now I am aware, of course, that there will be stuff coming from hand, so can't play around everything all the time. Okay, he wins, he gets his renown. And what's the dominance situation? 11 for Marcel. And I have nowhere near. Well, with stealth, it is possible to get unopposed here. Or force force Andrew to defend. Probably not gonna kill her lord here because it's only himself and Melisandre. And I can only lose one power because Chamber's knelt now. And even that, something else needs to come in, because if everyone defends, they still defend successfully, right? At the moment. Smuggler might go now though. Could have used the ability before he went if Andrew does intrigue. Should have maybe put Corain on top there. But if I'm gonna do that, then still kind of a set of useless cards mostly. They just draw 4 cards and 3 of them are cost 1. How is that possible? I had 11 cards in hand and Corain was hit. Yeah, I guess the thing to do was just play 7 or deeds, then put Corain on top. That was kind of a disaster. And now I'm first player, so if I choose 5 plus to keep Robert knelt, then I keep my Salador son knelt. If I do the chuds, then my opponent will do plus 5, right? And then that keeps my Robert knelt. So kind of possible to win this minigame going first in this situation. One Lord Chad for Marcel, and I also have to be really worried that I'm getting Morgulist. Or one dupe, I guess, or bodyguard or whatever. I mean, at the moment Andrew can kill himself to save one of the bigs. If somehow he could save both of them, then I think just pull the trigger on Morghulis, right? Although at the moment, control is partly working. Now I will be duping the Lena at least, right? And I can finally go second. Well, 2 dupes, so that's the Morghulis window gone. And I get another Korean, too bad that I didn't keep the other one. More bastards coming in. Yeah. Great little spread of characters for my Grand Melee. Plus a Melisandre nil. Yeah, not super fun. I do have characters though, so I can play all the dupes. And then, if I don't want to play Korean, I can play Wily Smuggler. He will nil chamber and provide another body. And I can play all the characters if I want. Maybe playing Storms and actually is pretty decent here. What is he going to do? So at the moment intrigue can't be done because Melisandre is alone. If he knelt a military icon, then military also can't be done. Which limits Marcel's options to attack me. But all the power icons still there. And yeah, Robert will keep all of that net. Well, I left the chance to do military here. And honestly, I would have to kill one of the standing characters, right? So might be worth doing this, yeah. It's another unopposed with renown. Could have maybe brought in that Nelt reducer as well. Or just marshal another one. I have 1 gold left over to kill, and then I have 3 characters left, but I guess it's not that important. The Lena and Bastard would need to both go into the power challenge to win it. Then I could oppose and win one back with Red Keep, I think. Is this a situation where I really mess up? I seem to remember I had a kind of a brain fart on one of the challenges. I need both of them to win this. If I attack with one, I get just 2 from Red Keep, but yeah. If they then both defend, I lose this. I don't even get the Red Keep. And really, it's not the thing to do. My Lysenigel is useless, can't boost the strength because it doesn't contribute. So that was not the play. Apart from the fact that okay, I have one character standing, and for Marcel they all net. So as an investment for the future, it's not the worst. And now my Robert will trigger with some decent effect, I think here. They should have attacked that with both. I mean, I had Fury as well. So my Robert doesn't stand, Corain, Saradar don't stand, Melisandre doesn't stand, so whole board basically, except my opponent's Robert. If I choose the bigs, then we have all the Chads on both sides standing, where I think I'm quite outnumbered. But if I choose the Chads, then Robert for Marcel stands. And I have nothing, right? It's really horrible. Yeah, going for some characters at least, and we keep the locations Nelt, which is most of the econ for Marcel. We have right Nelt, which doesn't matter that much. Everything else still standing, and we play this. Corain will go, Robert will go. Everything I stood for Marcel will also go, apart from whatever Andrew does. But then Alistair will nil my Delena, right? So yeah, not fun. Fair to say that the game is not going well. And the one card that's been annoying me, Robert, is still here to continue to keep my characters nailed, but okay. Begging brother. If we have the gold, might have to do that. I kept all the locations nailed, thinking that I would have standing ones now to have a decent round, but it's the Smith, so nil anyway. Really should have done that power challenge last round. Trigger Fury as well, and now wouldn't be 9-0, but more like 7-2 or something. Yeah, I think I mean, there's one attachment currently in play. It's gonna need any location that does something for me. So I could just need my 3-cost location and have more gold to do stuff. I think that's fair enough. If I want 6 for the begging brother, I can only do reducer. But I guess begging rather with 2 gold is not too bad. Now, am I getting destroyed this round with 8 gold? It is 9-0 and 0 claim. Two characters dead and only 2 of the key ones, I mean Corain and Robert, and only 1 close call. Well, it's 5 reserves, so has to play out some stuff. I mean, you can get a situation in Valyrian steel decks where there's a lot of non-characters in hand and then the attachments don't go anywhere and stuff like that. So I had some kind of hope at least, but duped Stannis, well, yeah, that's pretty decent, what can I say. Has one standing attachment, could have knelt one of the locations, but honestly, dominance is tricky here. And Fury, well, maybe I can do something. I can get stealth on the smuggler as well if I need it. But if I do anything, then that's power on my faction card for 0 claim. So, just makes me lose faster, right? Well, this can kill Shireen, and then if I kneel Stannis, I will win dominance, right? For the chamber trigger, so maybe the Smith should have nailed that. Yeah, maybe power first with Stannis was the better play. I have nailed my red keep unfortunately, but okay. I think Marcel would have nailed it though if I didn't do that myself. Or maybe not, I mean he didn't trigger the Smith after all of that. Okay, so Robert's realistically going to keep either Salderson and Stannis nailed, that seems unlikely. Or he is going to keep Delena nailed. That might not be worth cancelling because Begging Brother is quite valuable at this point. It's not going to keep locations nailed. But if I want to play another Grand Melee, then maybe everyone standing is a better deal. It's not like I have a handful of characters. I mean, I've got myself in a situation where I'm basically top decking, so yeah. Andrew goes. He did some work in this game, can't call him super useless. I have close call, of course, so that will draw an extra card. And I tend to... Ooh, initiative as well, that's nice. I tend to top deck exactly the card that I resurrect usually. So 2 Corains are gone, seems more likely that I get Robert, right? Well, there you have it. Happens so many times. Even in person when I played this deck, exactly the same thing happened. That might be big actually, because Corraine kneeling now someone like Stannis is pretty big. But then, how are we doing with Marcel's Morgulis threats here? Robert's unprotected, so it's not fun for him, but Stannis is duped. And if everything goes from my side, it's not the best deal. I do have Davos. Warhammer goes on Robert, who has Traitor. Oof, no. Okay, can't win the cancel battle. I mean, okay, now I think Corraine will have to absorb the Begging Brother, right? Trigger, and that's for sure the gold gone. Davos, yeah. Gold has to be gone. If Davos is in play on Morgulis, I don't want to lose him to a Begging Brother trigger. Come on, make decisions. Ooh, nice. Good decision. Although, yeah, actually, had to. I'm thinking I have King's Landing in play so often that just marshalling city gates is the same as doing the action for draw. But yeah, no King's Landing, so had to do that to dig for something more useful. And honestly, that's a dupe is at this point pretty valuable. Korean still left there, so now I don't have challenge phase control here. But okay, Delena means probably no Lightbringer coming in to close the game with Stannis. Yeah, the rule is for this tournament can't spectate if you are still in it. Well, that makes it fizzle, and it's on a renowned character, so yeah, that's well worth it. But unfortunately, privileged position. So now what? Takes a lot to defend, and then if something comes from hand, it could be my efforts wasted, and he has Warhammer, right? If I defend with 4, nothing gets intimidated. this time, yeah, better use him. But I have a better chance of not conceding an intrigue challenge here. Two more plots if I could survive for Marcel to play Morgulis. That's a lot of power, 5 power gone from Robert. Then I am in the game, right? This can be defended with the galley. But at the moment I am winning power against everyone if I defend with everyone, but okay, now I'm not. Stannis has to go into this one if he wants to win, which gives me a good chance actually to do power and win dominance back. But can't leave it unopposed, yeah. Or can I? Gets Marcel to 13. If there is a surprise Lightbringer, that's 14. But not quite 15. Ah, disputed claim. Okay, that could have actually won any challenge that I was thinking about defending. But I wouldn't be expecting the +2 strength, of course. So, well, at least it's in play. But it is gonna be 14 power, right? Can't cancel that. I mean, I can, but I will lose the begging brother battle the first thing. There's the first time there's something that's worth cancelling. But now Marcel has 3 for dominance. If I leave one character standing, I should have 4 for dominance. And I can do power. Just have to be a little bit careful. Starting this guy, could have started Stannis maybe. Just to be safe. I don't know if he can stand 1 gold in Bara, faction Cornell, I guess not. And the Delena still there. But actually I have Fury now. So that's gonna be like an extra claim. Taking it off Stannis because Roberts might go. And just 1 short of being able to trigger Kingsgate, unfortunately. But okay, Corraine in hand, and it's suddenly 11-6. Might get Stannis knelt with Corraine next round. What happens here? Bet Marcel would like my locations knelt. If I cancel, he cancels. He still has 1 gold left for cancelling Davos on Morgulis. Yeah. And indeed, locations do stay knelt, which means my chamber, my Storm's End, that's some power gain potentially, and my Fury, which was nice here. Can I get away with grand melee? Into air. Ooh, is that gonna do, Robert? 43 cards left. Yeah, okay. Oops. Okay. That's the thing as well. If you go second against this deck. Yeah, it's not worth playing Traitor as the restricted card if you're gonna have one copy. So it's either some kind of plot, Azor High Reborn, I guess in theory, but you also would have one copy. So it has to be Red Priest. That's Korain going. I mean, okay. Was I gonna Marshal here, him here? If Morgulis happens next, which I still think is gonna happen, but I'm not 100% sure. Just going by what was played last year. Okay, Lightbringer. If Delena doesn't get blanked, there's another Robert anyway. If Delena doesn't get blanked, then at least he's not gonna stand. He just has Renown, which he has anyway with Disputed Claim if there's a power challenge. Currently 6/6 magically now on the faction card, so it's not turned on. Ooh, well, that's very good actually. Bit late, but so many King's Landing locations already played. That would have been pretty nice, but okay. Can draw even more. And Robert, he is dead currently, and I have 2 more plots before I could realistically play Close Call on him. I need more stuff, not to just lose though. How much more? All of it, okay. Red keeps still working, but too bad. Storm's End's knelt now. And Chamber with Edric have a good chance to win Dominance, unless Begging Brother spent on that, but Begging Brother is really there, I think, for Davos now. If I leave it unopposed, it's gonna be +2 strength on Stannis for Disputed Claim. This is not worth it. I think should just defend this. Costs me 2 characters though, Saldor and Davos. Then maybe actually I can claim Davos, because if Begging Brother cancels here, then at least all the locations... Oh no, I don't have my Begging Brother anymore anyway, sorry, spent it. So doesn't need to cancel for Robert to work, well, sad day for me. Yeah, but still this is survival mode. Something realistically going to happen to the Begging Brother? I don't think so, so whether Davos dies here or next round is the same thing, unless I think there's no more ghoulies, but I think there is. Yeah. Ah, and intimidate as well. Yeah. But no intrigue icon at the moment. Just hope Stannis doesn't randomly get a little bird or something at some point. Now they kind of have to do power anyway. Yeah. And I don't know. I think I have to defend with 2. If there's nightmares on red keep, if I try to defend with 1, it's game over. $14, well. But Delena should be winning this. And unopposed as well. And I should have dominance, so that disputed claim is going to be turned off properly. Not triggering the King's Gate. I don't know, maybe that was worth triggering. Water Dancer Sword comes with this. Not with ambush in the challenges phase. Did he use it in this round, the agenda trigger already? Not sure. Either way. I think I could have triggered the King's Gate really. Because realistically, I mean, okay, if there's Morghulis, I do have Corraine back. Plenty of econ on trade routes though. I really don't want to get another red priest immediately. To take Corraine away. Well, I don't think this is enough. I need to probably play that set on deeds here. It's not gonna be a lot of gold for Marcel. Martial law, okay. Just to get gold. I have a lot of gold now. There's 7 minutes left. It's 13-8. How much can we sack for set on our deeds? If Robert was alive, could at least play him, but he's not. I don't think I can sack 3. 13-5 is oof, okay. And another Robert, well, he's not alive. King's Landing still there, so I can draw more. I can draw 2 more cards, technically. Chamber Dupe, also useless. I think we have to do the city gates as well. But they both have traitor, to be fair. That's not the worst thing. Too bad Storm's End's not standing. Could technically play him, resack him and replay Chamber. Also not the best idea ever. Well, could I play Throne and Chamber? I think Milk has been played yet. And Melisandre is still alive at the moment, so if she comes in and nails Corain, it's not the best. Five minutes left. Sacked 3 power for Shadowrunner Dids. Ugh. But the fact that they both have traitor, I mean, some bastards of Robert and stuff like that could come in here. If there's Stannis still alive, and suddenly the board grows a lot bigger. Robert's gonna keep my Lucentius Snelled forever, I think. Not gonna get Storm's End back, and he is going to take one traitor away if I don't kneel him. So I think I kind of have to, right? No. Well, okay, but he's gonna be a knelt character, the only one with a proper power icon. And Corain can just kneel Stannis if he takes it off Stannis, right? Goes off Robert. But okay. So Corain can kneel Robert. And then I should be able to win power challenge unopposed and use the tapestry to kneel Stannis anyway, right? Running out of locations to kneel for Corain. I have to start kneeling my own. Hopefully no surprises here. Well, I was 8 behind. I'm gonna be 3 behind after this one. And we go another round. With Imri available. I might not have initiative though. If I want to play close call just to get Robert, who is my only character at the moment. By the way, would it be worth triggering some of those gates here? Still not doing it. Down to 11 cards in the deck. Well, at this point I can pretty much just guess what's still left, actually. Oh, I have this, so maybe it's not that crucial. That's another one that's dead though. But one that's alive. And Robert needs all the locations again. One still left there for Corain, but can't actually be used because he doesn't have a target for locations. Does he? Oh, Gates of the Moon still standing. Fine. Well. Do we grand melee and hope there's not enough characters? Or do we close call and get one of the ones that are still alive? I have 0 initiative with that. I can take Corain back to hand even. For the price of needing one of my own characters. Ah, but I win initiative. Well. Yeah. Slightly paranoid about Red Priest. Maybe going second was the play. So, since the attachment is stuck on Corain, I want to play Robert here, who has renown. Maybe gets me ahead. Actually, Salsa is not a bad draw, right? Can stand Corain and a warship. $11 gold. Salador is dead. Well, I could marshal all the smugglers. Six cards left in the deck. All the smugglers or Robert? What's the better play? Could bestow 2 on the cells and bring Wily Smuggler and the ship. Well, you'll see in a moment that going for those cells might have been slightly better actually. And even leaving Corain knelt. Though he can't stand if we go into the challenges phase. He can't stand anymore anyway, and cells cannot stand themselves. They can counter the kneel in marshalling and then stand a warship. For what it's worth. If I went second, could have then used Imri and in marshalling and replayed Throne in Chamber even standing. Yeah, did not expect this one. I mean, makes sense, to be fair. I can't use it anyway. Yeah, if I left him knelt, but then if Marcel passes into challenges, then he stays knelt, as I said. Faction card nil is required for the Valyrian steel triggers, but yeah, still Silisi. She can win games just like Imri can, but on this occasion, I mean, I am quite lucky that Delena's there. She's still standing, otherwise I have nothing standing, and since throne and chamber, I mean chamber specifically is knelt, I can't close the gap with the dominance. If I went second and this happened, I could have, but then if Marcel has red priest, red priests, well, Stannis gets sweet sleep, but he is knelt. Digging for more cards, I guess. And one character only. Baratheon is not gonna have ambush and not gonna have stand at this point, right? To get past Delena and then still introduce some kind of stand attachment with the faction card knelt, I don't think it's happening. Have to kneel her though, because if she opposes Delena, she can get the water dancer sword or something, and she beats me. And yeah, I can stand that fury. I'll get one more power from that. Would get to 15 if Zelisi wasn't played, but she was. I think so, at least. Yeah, it was a good game. That was honestly one of the most epic games I've ever played. It looked so hopeless, but somehow managed to stick in there. I think we both misplayed a little bit at some point, but yeah, in the end, I don't know. Those locations being kept net. Marcel had a full hand all the time, but I don't know. Didn't marshal that much either because of lack of econ, or because it was simply too many non-characters. I was expecting him to close the game at many points there, but just never happened, and I was winning the dominance battle somehow in this one, and had some good draws towards the end. Some not so good draws, to be fair. King's Landing came pretty late, and then the characters that were dead were drawn, but yeah, Imri saves the game. But to be fair, I did draw my entire deck. Had 6 cards left, I think. There's another traitor in there, and some King's Landing dupes or something. Pretty much, if I had a minute or two, I could remember which cards I didn't see at that point. So yeah, so 4 years in a row with Bara Summer. This time a little different, but still kind of squeeze into the cut, and extended cut anyway. And next game is going to be against Tyrell Crossing, as the draw worked out, and I think we can bring you that as well. So thank you for watching this one, and see you next time.